I'm Jeff Sims. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, and these are the breaks.
These
are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of These Are the Breaks. As I said, I'm your host, Jeff Sims, and let's get right to it. Today, we're going to start with some NBA news. Lakers lost their 10th straight to their antagonist stepbrother, the Clippers. This is 10 straight. They lost 133 to 115, even though LeBron had scored a 46-point performance, absolute masterpiece. LeBron has scored 40 points now on every single team in the NBA at some point in his career. They just could not overtake the barrage of three-pointers that the Clippers were throwing. LeBron hit a career high 9 threes against the Clips, and it still was not enough. Still not enough in Crypto.com arena. The Lakers fall again for the 10th straight time to the Clippers. Fortunately, we are getting some help, or the Lakers are getting some help soon. The Lakers expect their star Anthony Davis to return tonight, to return to action against the San Antonio Spurs, which we probably don't need him, hopefully, to beat the Spurs. They're woeful this year. However, he is coming back after almost 6 weeks off from injury, his standard 6-week break per season. As we know, he has a few nicknames, Mr. Glass, Street Clothes. He tends to be injured quite a bit, but we're hoping that he gets back, plays like he was playing earlier in the season, which was all-star, even MVP caliber, that's for sure. He was definitely playing at peak performance prior to his injury, so we'll just have to see how long and if Anthony Davis can get back to that. However, the Lakers may have more help tonight as well, as they recently acquired Rui Hachimura, and he's expected to suit up for the purple and gold for the first time since being traded from the Washington Wizards for Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks. This was a shocking move. Nobody was sure what Pelinka would or wouldn't do. They know the Lakers are hesitant to give up their 2 first-round picks. So making this trade for a very functional wing at only 24 years old and only giving up the second-round picks and a Kendrick Nunn, which was not performing well for the Lakers in that Laker uniform. This seems like a really good trade. A lot of people seem to be happy with it. Time will tell to see how it goes, but it definitely adds the much-needed depth to the wing position that the Lakers were lacking. As we all know, they were overloaded with guards, so now sending Kendrick Nunn out, who is a guard, bringing in a forward, Hachimura, 24 years old, at the wing, should really help. Decent performing shooter, 40% last year, in the 30% this year. We'll see if he can't pick it up a little bit, but I think it's a good move. Rui was the 9th pick in the 2019 NBA draft, so they got themselves a top 10 pick. And Hachimura, it looks like he will be playing or starting the game alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Some thought he might come off the bench. He was playing off the bench behind Kyle Kuzma for the Washington Wizards, but Kuzma is having a career year. Of course, it's a contract year for Kuzma. They always do. But he looks like he will start, like I said, alongside LeBron and AD. So we'll see how that goes. But the Lakers hope that Hachimura is a long-term piece to the plan. They made this trade with expectations of signing an extension with Hachimura in the offseason. So this looks like a long-term piece. Looks like they're not just trading for this season. So this looks like it could be a good move. And this couldn't come at a better time. The Lakers have a tough schedule leading to the All-Star break. They play the Boston Celtics on Saturday, and then then they follow up with the Brooklyn Nets on Monday. Now, the Boston Celtics are a league best right now, first placed in the East. The West is brutal. The Western Conference is not playing up to par this year, as we all know, which has left the door open for the Lakers, and the Lakers need it. The Lakers have had plenty of opportunities to sneak into those playoff spots, a play-in, or even a locked-in playoff spot being in the sixth, but they just can't seem to get over the hump. Every time that door's open, the Lakers shut it themselves and jam a toe right in that door. However, even with that, the Lakers are only 2.5 games back of the sixth spot. And like I said, that's due to a very abnormal year in the West. Normally, a team with the Lakers records would be in last place and wouldn't have a shot at the playoffs. They'd already be out and looking at Tankville. So let's see what the Lakers can do and if they can finally step through that open door that the rest of the Western Conference is allowing them to enter into. We'll see what Pelinka brings up. We'll see what the Lakers have in store. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are watching These Are the Breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
The NBA announced the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Players of the Week, and it's no shock. 38-year-old LeBron James is the Western Conference Player of the Week. Let's just discuss this a little bit. LeBron, since turning 38, has been on a tear. Despite his record with the Lakers, LeBron himself has been spectacular. Never has the NBA seen a player in his 20th year play to the caliber that LeBron James played. Not Michael Jordan, not Kobe Bryant, nobody. The way that LeBron has been able to keep his body in shape and be able to compete at 38 with these young guns, it's nothing short of spectacular. He is now, as we all know, and you're going to hear a lot more about it, he is approaching the all-time points leading scorer in the NBA, and he will soon overtake the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for that role. Kareem doesn't seem to be too happy about it, as he thought that this record would stand forever. However, we all know records are made to be broken, but I would expect to hear a lot of noise, a lot of chatter from the NBA, from media sources as this record gets closer, which he is within about 200 points of breaking this record as of now. We do know that the NBA is planning LeBron Fest at the All-Star Game to celebrate this accomplishment, which why not? Why wouldn't they celebrate LeBron? He's the best thing the league has right now. And with that, and with his scoring, and with him breaking a record that nobody thought possible, like I said, it's an amazing accomplishment. For the Eastern Conference, Drew Holiday is the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. He's been playing excellent, so he's well-deserved. Now, as we know, usually when it's all-star time, that also means trade deadline time. So lots of teams are trying to jockey position to get the right player leading to the second half of this season. The Lakers, as we discussed, they've made the trade already. Are they done? Is Pelinka done adjusting this team? I don't think so. It is likely that the Lakers will try to add more pieces to the team, or they could stay put. They are not willing. Repeat. Jeannie Buss has specifically told Rob Pelinka she is not willing to jeopardize the future and those 2 first-round picks for this season unless it's a game changer. And there doesn't appear to be a game-changing player out there. However, Pelinka has stated that they still have more work to do in this trade deadline, before the trade deadline. And the name that keeps coming up, which has been coming up all season, is Bojan Bogdanovic from the Detroit Pistons. We all know he's available for trade. We all know that the Lakers have been discussing it. Can the Lakers get a deal done for Bojan Bogdanovic? That would be a great trade. Adding Bojan to the Lakers AD and now Hachimura roster would be excellent. He's a strong shooter. That's exactly what you need. It's not a shock. The formula has been set for LeBron James teams. Surround him with shooters. The Lakers have failed to do that. The Lakers couldn't hit, as I believe LeBron said, they couldn't toss a penny in the ocean. They are missing shots. They need shooters bad. Hopefully Hachimura will bring that. Hopefully, if they do get a Bojan Bogdanovic, that will tighten that side up, and LeBron will not have to work so hard with games like he had against the Clippers, 46 points, a career-high 9 3-pointers, only to walk away with the loss. That has to be defeating. Other teams that are looking for trades, it's rumored that Boston is looking to shore up their center position. So they're in the market for a big. We'll see what they're able to bring in. They are the league's best right now. So if they are able to make a significant trade, that would only bolster their roster and give them even more opportunity to spur forward in the league standings and give them a great playoff run. We'll just have to wait and see. Fredo, we all know. Fredo's rooting for the Boston Celtics. If you keep tabs, one of our other hosts here, he believes Boston is the team to beat this year. He believes Boston will win the title and break the title tie with the Lakers. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Other players that we know are available. We know Fred VanVleet from the Raptors has turned down his extension offer from the Raptors. That makes you believe he's available. The Raptors do not want Fred VanVleet to walk away and them get nothing in the offseason. So that would lead you to believe that a player like Fred VanVleet is available. Doesn't seem like the Lakers would be a buyer, being that they're already in the guard position heavy. However, other teams out there may be looking to add a Fred VanVleet, and that could make a big difference on those teams. Of course, those teams would only make that trade if they know VanVleet would stay there long term. Otherwise, there's really no reason to sacrifice any assets for somebody who's going to leave at the end of the season. Another player and former Laker that may be available on the rumor mill is Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson also turned down an extension offer from his team, the Utah Jazz. As we know, Donovan Mitchell just left Utah and specifically said he didn't feel comfortable there. He's more comfortable where he's at now and feel in Cleveland and feels he's around more people like him. We know what that means. That means he wasn't comfortable with the breakdown over there in Utah. So maybe Jordan Clarkson's feeling the same way. Jordan Clarkson has been balling this season, that's for sure. So he would be an asset for any team that acquired him in the trade deadline. However, we'll have to see what happens. We'll see what happens with Jordan. We'll see what happens with Utah. Another player that does not look to be going anywhere, but does look to be getting a payday, would be former Laker Kyle Kuzma. With the trade of Hachimura from the Washington Wizards to the Lakers, that leaves the door open for Kyle Kuzma for a big payday this offseason, which he's verbally announced he is looking for. So he is looking to sign a $100 million plus contract with his team, and if the Wizards offer that, he will stay. We know Kyle Kuzma loves LA. He loves the lifestyle. He loves the team, but I think he'll like the $100 million more, and the Lakers just can't give that to him. So leaving Washington, heading to the Lakers does not look like that's going to be an option for Kyle Kuzma, and the Wizards just positioned themselves by that trade with Hachimura to go ahead and pay the man his money. Let's go ahead and take another break. And when we come back, we're going to hit up some of this wonderful NFL playoff news, and we'll be right back with the breaks.
Profanity Nation.
A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back with the breaks. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around. I am your host, Jeff Sims. Again, it is Wednesday on The Breaks. Let's get going with some NFL news. As we know, we are knee-deep in the NFL playoffs. In fact, it is now the championship games. Last week, Dallas fell to the San Francisco 49ers. That is a story we'll get to in a second with Mr. Irrelevant there, the quarterback. How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen the starting quarterback go down with an injury just for the backup quarterback to steal his spot? This has been done. This has been repeated multiple times in this league, and it's happening again in San Francisco. Purdy has played absolutely Purdyful. Beautiful. He's led them to the championship game and may just lead them to a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl victory. What a story that would be. Cincinnati went ahead and beat Buffalo. Again, this one they went 27-10. That's a game that I think everybody somewhat expected Cincinnati to beat, but they did. And then we had the New York Giants. They fell to the ever-streaking Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles have been strong all season long, and that continues. New York Giants, 7 points. Philadelphia, only 38. Only 38. They went ahead and took them out and sent New York home. And then you had Jacksonville versus Kansas City. Kansas City took care of business. 27, Jacksonville 20. Kansas City is your winner. They are leading to the AFC Championship game. The NFC Championship game will be San Francisco versus Philadelphia. Can Brock Purdy do it again? Can Purdy lead this team to the Super Bowl against one of the better teams all season long in the Philadelphia Eagles? We'll have to see. There's some exciting football coming up this weekend. This is the time to watch. If you don't watch all year, now is when you want to watch. These are the teams leading to the Super Bowl, so don't miss it this weekend. And then again, as we said, the AFC Championship game, Cincinnati versus KC, Kansas City. We all know who our fellow host here, Michael's going for. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so he's definitely rooting for Kansas City. He's hoping that they take care of business, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, we touched base on this again as far as quarterbacks and injured quarterbacks and their backup replacements taking their slot. We don't know if that's going to happen in San Francisco, but we know Purdy's deserved a look. He's deserved a look, and he's made San Francisco have to think twice about who their starting quarterback will be. So time will tell. We're just going to have to check it out. As far as Kansas City, we know Patrick Mahomes, incredible quarterback. He suffered a high ankle sprain in the last game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, he is expected to give it a go in this championship game. Why wouldn't he? If he can walk on it, if he can run on it a little bit, he can take the pain. They got to go for it, get to that Super Bowl. You don't get many options. You don't get many choices. You don't get many chances at the Super Bowl. You've got to go for it when you have a chance. And that leads us to, again, another quarterback that we have to talk about that has much to decide in regards to his future. And, of course, we're talking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady's pondering his future with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Will he come back? Will he continue to play? Everybody feels that Brady should call it a day. He has absolutely nothing to prove. Brady has won Super Bowls with two teams in two different systems. He's disproven that he's a systems guy. He's proven he can go anywhere and win in any system. He's got nothing left to prove. He's already cemented his spot as the GOAT, greatest quarterback to ever live and play the game. What else does he have to prove? So that leads me to this next question. Does a quarterback, player, a boxer, an athlete of any kind, sticking around too long, does that hurt their legacy? I believe it does. I don't believe it changes their record. It would never force Tom Brady out of the GOAT position. Somebody's going to have to perform better, win more Super Bowls in more difficult situations to take that from him. However, when you look back, memory serves. We are a what have you done for me lately world, and we remember the last things that people have done, athletes specifically, boxers. If Floyd Mayweather went 50-0 and then lost his last 10, that would damage his legacy. It doesn't change his 50-0 record, but it definitely damages his legacy. Brady's the same way. Brady now is starting to become and fall down the Brett Favre path with do I stay, do I go, do I stay too long, do I leave when I'm on top? It's already too late to leave when you're on top because you are not in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady. So now the question is do you leave with your team leading, going out in the playoffs, or do you stick around and see what the future holds? I believe you take your cards, you bundle up, and you take off. You already have, like I said, a winning record. Why damage the legacy? Why hurt anything at all? It doesn't make sense. Call it a day, Tom. Enjoy your life. We know that you came back to football and potentially sacrificed your family for that. We know that that ended in a divorce. We believe a lot of that is because you came back to football. Maybe it's time to focus on some other priorities. You've done it. You've been there. You are officially the GOAT. Nothing left to prove. Let's give a hand to Tom Brady. Let him go on his way and lead the room for these new quarterbacks to start making their waves. Thank you so much for joining us. That has been the episode of The Breaks this weekend on Wednesday. I am your host, Jeff Sims. Come back tomorrow. Fredo will be your host every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday now on Infinity Television, exclusively on YouTube. You know where to find us every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12 noon Pacific. Again, I'm your host, and these were The Breaks.